I thought that yesterday happened to be my birthday, and I got taken out to see Jurassic World by a friend of mine, which I appreciate, if you should see this video. Um, but I thought that I would do a quick review on what I thought of it, and uh, really to sum it all up, I thought it was awful. I thought it was an awful, awful movie uh, on many levels. I could tell that when I saw the trailer that it was going to be uh, just an awful movie. For one thing, the acting in it's not very good. Chris Pine may have been in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't necessarily think he's a good actor. And I don't think any actor, regardless of how good they are, can actually save a bad script, can save a bad story. The primary female lead in it was like an imbecile. It's like, why would you even get put in charge of this thing? Like, no one would ever put you in charge of anything. She couldn't even keep track of her own, nephews most of the time. In true Spielberg-esque action, all the women and all the children in the movie are extremely annoying. The kid's mom, all she did was cry. She wasn't in the movie much, but every time she was on screen, she cried. I get really, really tired of the genius kid scenario too. Like, when some kid's supposed to be some genius, and it's like, he can't help but look at everything in the park and go on about all the details about it and stuff like that. I find that stuff, like, really annoying. I mean, not to mention just all the insurmountable, like, holes in all of the plot, like gaping ones. Not like Sasha Grey gaping, more like Nina Hartley gaping. I mean, like, big gaping holes. Like, I don't care how many trillions of dollars that this park is going to bring in. It's probably not trillions, but they're probably bringing in like billions of dollars. The big, huge, monolithic, like, dinosaur from the movie apparently cost InGen like $26 million or something. So they're spending a lot of money, and I realize that InGen owns that island, but that island is still governed by Costa Rica, and I just don't see the Costa Rican government going, yeah, okay, let's do this again. It'll probably work out this time. So, just from that point of view, the whole movie shouldn't have even happened. I just don't see them going for it. Like, if I was in that position, and they were over there on the other side of the table saying, yeah, but we're going to make all this money, I would be like, it doesn't matter, because people almost always die, and sometimes a lot of people. It turns into a disaster. So most of the characters were really annoying and sort of unbelievable. There was a huge lack of color in the whole movie. Like, all the dinosaurs are just kind of gray and everybody seems to leave this movie thinking it's in the future, but it's not in the future. It's 2015. They drive 2015 Mercedes G-Wagons and stuff like that. This movie is not in the future. It is not on another planet. It takes place in goddamn Costa Rica, where the first one and the second one and, like, a lot of the third one, took place. I guess it's just, I just don't think that this movie was made for adults. I think that really they're trying to really capitalize on children here, because a lot of the children out there now probably haven't seen the original Jurassic Park, which is just a monumentally better film than this. I mean, I haven't even really looked, but let me look here for a second. Just trying to look up what this thing's rating is. It has 4 stars, which I'm kind of glad to see. Okay, now this is a little bit better. It looks like things have actually changed kind of after some opening weekend. When I went yesterday, this was at an 8.5 on the IMDb, which I thought was just completely ridiculous. It's like, you know, if people actually see this movie, you know, the rating's going to go down, and it actually has. It's gone down already to a 7.6 out of 10 on the IMDb, which is a lot closer to average. And I would say that this is a very average movie, perhaps even below average if I'm sticking with the 7. And I think you IMDb people that look at this stuff know that, you know, 7 on the IMDb is all right. I mean, you could maybe go see that. I'd say it's pretty average. And a lot of this stuff I do realize is in the eye of the beholder. I think Chappie is an excellent movie, but it has about a 7.1 on the IMDb. Not a lot of people like it. But I don't know. Chappie's just a better movie. I would put Jurassic World kind of in there with Avatar. I do not like Avatar. I mean, I don't think it's an awful movie or anything like that, but, you know, best movie ever? No way. No way. The story, and I'm sure a lot of you movie people have heard people say this, is just Pocahontas. That is literally all it is. Read Pocahontas and then watch Avatar. The similarities are just staggering. It's one of the most overhyped movies that I've ever seen. Of course, now Avatar, having been out a while, is not carrying such a great rating on IMDb now either. It's at a 7.9, like almost an 8, which I think I think is fair to give that movie. I guess it's worth an 8 at the most. But it's just kind of a good example of how you shove enough bullshit into a movie and you know, people just go nuts over it at first. And then I'm sure people go and change their IMDb ratings and stuff after they see it a few times. Like, oh, the first time I saw that I was pretty excited about it, but now that I've seen it a few times, I don't think I'd really give it that. I'm sure that happens a lot, but I wouldn't waste my money to have gone. I didn't pay for Jurassic World, so, and I wouldn't. I'm sure you guys have seen the big, huge shark thing that like eats a great white. I mean, a great white is a big shark. You know, they're huge, huge sharks, and this thing is like, it's like a kraken or something. Now, again, what in your mind makes you think that you can put this thing in a big aquarium and just sit people around it and everything's going to be fine? You know, it's like there's so much of a contrived sort of nature about that film, and a lot of films these days are just real kind of contrived to a purpose. Things don't seem to unfold very naturally, and they seem really set up. Again, a lot of people are impressed by CG, but I've seen CG so much now that I'm almost starting to appreciate practical effects more. In some ways, Underworld was a better movie effects-wise than Jurassic World. Underworld was almost strictly practical effects, and they look good in close-ups and stuff, like on screen. And it's not that Avatar looked bad. I mean, it looked good, but there was almost nothing real in it. Um, you know, I mean, there were a few actors in it, and they were in a few facilities and stuff like that, but you know, for the most part, it was like a completely CG movie, and I don't know. I just think that a lot of these things get overhyped. Now, a friend of mine brought up grossing. I don't think you should base how good a movie is on how much money it made. That only means that it was advertised well, and they talked a lot of people into going to see it. A lot of kids want to go see Jurassic World, you know, and you know, they have to drag their parent along because it's PG-13. So they could almost make the same movie and get away with it. They kind of did make the same movie in a lot of ways. I don't, and the whole like taming a dinosaur thing, the little pack of raptors that Chris Pine had was just like, come on, dude. They would, no way. They would just rip you apart. You know, come on. And you just wait for the movie to come out in a way that you can watch it like either free or for very little, like rent it on Redbox or something, and you'll find something wrong literally with every piece of the movie. Like, what? How are they even going to let this guy go up in a helicopter without his license, even if he is the only guy? There has to be somebody that's better at flying a helicopter than this dude. You know, like they could go down there where all the guests are staying and ask for a helicopter pilot and probably get a better one than him. You know, just so contrived, the whole thing, and really disappointing. And I'm glad to see its ratings gone down. And the same thing with Avatar. Avatar does not deserve a high rating. Now, what's a movie I would give a high rating? The first Matrix. That deserves a solid 9. I think that was a just spectacularly good movie. Very, you could say it's not all that original because it's basically Tron, but it was such a good retelling of Tron that, you know, it deserves merit, and it didn't overuse CG. Like a lot of its martial arts sequences were all wire work and stuff like that, and it looked good. The Matrix looked better than its 2 sequels. The Matrix looked better than Avatar. The Matrix looked better than Jurassic World. Jurassic Park looked better than Jurassic World. Just, I can't knowingly sit here and tell all my subscribers or the people watching this to go see this movie. I would say don't waste your money if you're an adult. If you want to take your kids to go see it, maybe you can do something on your phone for like 2 hours and get away with it, or something like that. That's what I would do. And again, thank you for taking me to the movie. You know who you are, but I almost wanted to walk out, like halfway through. I almost couldn't deal with it anymore. He brought up another good point. Like, they have all this technology on the island, but the minute someone's cell phone needs to work, it won't. Or, you know, the minute someone's walkie-talkie needs to work, it won't. And they have spared no expense on all these things. It's just shitty writing, and frankly a shitty movie. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Goemonronin, signing off.